Right, hello again. To the guy who said he wants videos every day for him to enjoy with his lunch, this is for you. Can't promise I'm going to do it every single day, but I've kind of said before that the last few months I've just been busy, found it hard with work and lockdown to have the time that I would like for Geoguessr stuff. But I'm hopefully now I'm going to be able to have a bit more time, and I'm going to upload more, all sorts of things you can follow me on. Twitter, I think, is going to be a big one for me, actually, because I'm actually active on there. So please follow me on Twitter. Get me up to 200 followers would be nice. Follow me on Twitch. Get me up to 1,000 would also be nice. But yeah, I'm back, and I want to just do more and more regular stuff. So what I've got today is a kind of new idea, but I was thinking about, obviously, like, everyone has amazing games, and like anyone can kind of post a good game, but what if we did a huge number of games and took an average? Would that be, I don't know, I think it gives like quite a good indicator of where you are. So what I did was I did 50 locations, 10 seconds per round, no moving. Took the average score, watched till the end to find out what my average score was, but I think it's pretty good. So easy to make mistakes in 10 seconds per round, because I've kind of worked it out. You have about 2 seconds to decide where you are. By the time the location's loaded and you've zoomed into the map, you honestly only have about 2 seconds to actually make your mind up. So any dumb guess I make, I'm sure I know how dumb it was, and I'm sure I know what clue I missed. You can comment anyway, but honestly, I probably know better than anyone what I did wrong. But yeah, I'm pleased with my overall average. Check it out, and I want you to try it yourselves. So if you give it a go, do 50 locations, work out your average, and I'd be impressed if anyone beats me. But there are some Radus out there, so let's see. Right, enjoy. Right, so let's see then. Let's go through my games. So first one. Looks like France, got a bit of language. I see the O2 phone code, so I'm going up in the northwest. Not much time to do anything else. The speed of these is going to mean I'm not going to be able to give a full explanation, but if there's anything you want to know, let me know in the comments. Next one, I guess my hunch is Iceland based on the landscape. And what do I end up going for here? Looks like I'm going for... Okay, I'm going Balkan. I'm probably wrong there. Yeah, it was actually Catalonia. This one looks like South Africa. Mountains are distinctive, end up in the right part of the country, roughly speaking. Location 5. I kind of just get a Sri Lankan feel from the buildings and that kind of thing. It's so fast, honestly. Like when I say you have 2 seconds to make your mind up, that really is true. So keep going. Next one looks like. Okay, I think I'm torn between France and Belgium here. It ends up being Belgium, but I go in the right part of France. The buildings across those two areas look kind of the same a lot of the time. This one is Senegal. I think I checked the car there to be double sure. Don't have much time to accurately place my guess. That's the theme here. Like you, sometimes even if you have a good idea of where to put it, by the time you're in the map, you actually end up completely out of time. End up really close there. Probably just admiring how close that was. You know what I'm like. This one looks Brazil. No. Oh, it looks Malaysia. Sorry. I'm watching. I'm doing the voiceover on quite a small version of the screen, and obviously that sign was placed for driving on the left, so that would have been a dumb guess. Mountains look like northeastern Turkey here. I'm fairly confident, and I think we're going to get a nice score. It takes ages to load up the 5th guess for some reason, to put you into the summary screen. Okay, that was nice. That was a very strong game, 23.6. If you could average that, you'd be the best player in the world. But unfortunately, there are always going to be games that don't go quite so well. Right, next one. This is Japan. That mirror by the side of the road is quite telling, but this one, guess I'll go for Taiwan. Oh, is this the one where I do something really dumb? Yep, I forget to guess it. It ends up being Wales, but I couldn't make my mind up. I was thinking it could be in mainland Europe somewhere. I really could not make my mind up there at all. That's what happens. You miss one round, and that's going to throw your average a bit. That made up for it in Thailand. But yeah, I think in the 3 attempts I had of this, I think in every one I ended up missing a guess somewhere. It just when you're doing 10 seconds, it just happens. Like sometimes you kind of underestimate how long it takes to zoom into the map, or in 2 seconds you can't think of anything. Okay, so that was slightly lower. I mean, 16.9, considering I had a missed location, is not the worst score. Now what have we got? Some of these I'm watching back, and I can't. I missed it again. That was Mexico. I clicked in Philippines just at the last second. It ended up being Mexico. This looks like Australia. I ended up making a nice guess there. We had the mirror again there for Japan. And that could have been a lot worse. Now I just need to kind of keep the points up here for the last 2 to make sure I don't get a disastrous score. This is obviously Poland from the sign. And final round. What am I okay, we've actually got a very useful sign there because Mackay is in Queensland. And I know exactly where it is, so I'm placing my marker pretty accurately from being zoomed out. And we're going to end up with some points there. So 17.9 or something. Had a disaster in that Mexico one, but managed to keep up with the others. This looks like Philippines. I think it's a lot of there's a certain type of poster you get a lot in the Philippines. That kind of helps me sometimes. Next one, Thai from the script. Ends up being further north than I would have thought. This one I have a panic as well. I know it's an island somewhere, and I zoom into the right area first, and I just can't think where to even zoom into, so I end up going for Caribbean, thinking it's like the Virgin Islands. I didn't really think it was, but I just didn't have time to sort it out in my head properly. This is fairly straightforward one with the signs and stuff. End up being quite close. I think this ends up being Poland. Takes so long, but yeah, it was Poland. I think the buildings there, with Central European architecture, I really need a bit of time to think it through, and they're the ones where I'm falling down a lot in this, because I'm getting a bit better at it, but it's that 2 seconds is just not enough for me to think of it. Right, see, I've got 3 seconds now to make my guess. I go with Lesotho, and it's good. That says Tirana, Albania, so I know exactly where I'm going to click. Doesn't look like we're in the city, but have to go with that as a kind of sensible guess. This is Uganda, from the red soil and the car. Uganda's really easy to spot without the car, so I don't think that's like a particularly useful bit of meta, but in speed rounds like that, it just takes the thought process away a bit. I'm on for an insane score here, but there are no clues in this round, so I just have to hope for the best. Could get over 24k if I'm really lucky, and I'm insanely lucky. 37 miles with that. Jesus. So I do end up getting 24k, which is not bad for 10 seconds per round. That is nice. You'll find out what my average was at the end, by the way. I'll reveal it at the end. Bangladesh, you can see the script. You have the car as well, if you want that as a clue. Guess this ends up being Southeast Asia. Maybe this one was Korea. Yeah, it was. Didn't really have enough time to think. Again, that's one where if I had all the time in the world, I probably wouldn't have made that mistake. But when you're rushing, I go with Italy here. Not sure if that's right. It's Greece. Tough. Mediterranean can be a tough one as well. When you don't really have any clues and you're just looking at landscape, it can be quite hard. Fairly straightforward Taiwan there, I think. This one I was really tossing up. I'm deep down in my head, I was so suspicious that it was going to be Australia. That's why I drag across to look at Australia there on the map. And it was. That was an annoying one. Thing is, like, across 50 locations, you're going to make these mistakes. That's why it's an average, because you're not just taking your best game. You're looking at the whole thing. Just about clicking Tunisia without zooming out and end up close. Really struggling here because I'm thinking it's a weird landscape. I'm thinking of Turkey, but the road makes me want to go with Spain instead. I just about clicked before the timer ends. This is definitely Japan from the buildings and the wall and the style of the road. End up close again. Can we finish strongly here? Had some Spanish there, so guaranteed to get some points. And I think this one ends up being a nice guess. Quite good at recognising this part of British Columbia. I think it's quite distinctive with the trees and the mountains. Kind of before they get really big a bit in other areas of that region. There we go, with another kind of almost 23k. Right, we're getting to the last few games now, I think. I end up going Mexico here. Again, like, if I'd had time to look at the detail, I'd have probably realised we're in the US. But just landscape, I had to just think of something to click because you don't have any time to question yourself. What did I end up doing? That was a weird one. I clearly wasn't looking at anything in any detail there, including what side of the road we were driving on. I think I get this wrong as well. Taiwan. Wow, okay, I'm having a bit of a nightmare in this game. Work out from the buildings that that's South Korea. That kind of brickwork. I need to salvage something. Should be Belgium. Really took me a while to zoom in. Okay, outside Liège, 13, that's probably my weakest score. I think this might be the last game of the 10, so this is locations up to 50. US, have to hope for the best, end up not too far away. I think I went with Missouri. This one's annoying because actually I've got the name of the state on one of the signs there, but I missed it. Because I look now and I see Indiana and I try and change my guess, but I run out of time. That would have got me another 1,500 points probably if I'd just been a little tiny bit faster. I clearly get Malaysia, Indonesia feel here. End up with a decent guess there on Borneo. This one I go Brazil. It's kind of mountainous, kind of red, so I think of this bit of the country. It's Indonesia, I think, and I just have to hope that I can make a decent guess. So that's the last one. And my average score was 19,070, I believe. which I think is pretty good. So have a go for yourself and let me know if you can beat that. Yeah, 19,070. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.